Hey guys, it's Corey B. I've been back from Oahu, Hawaii for about 3 weeks now. I still have this last day of footage I think that I just showed you to edit, and I don't know why it took me so long. Probably because I didn't have a lot to edit because our flight was leaving at like 2:30 in the afternoon, so we didn't really do a lot that day. But also I thought maybe I could include a review, like a full review of Oahu, Hawaii and what we thought about it in this last video, and it took me way longer to get this review out than I thought it would. Anyway, we're back now. We're back to cold, rainy Minnesota. It's fall here, and it is getting colder by the day, and I would say at least once a day I wish we were back in Oahu, Hawaii. We loved it there. We had a fantastic time. We would go back any chance that we could get. So I'm just going to run through like a recap of things we did and things we loved and maybe the things that we didn't like as much. So first of all, we loved Oahu, and we definitely go back anytime. Although we also want to check out some of the other Hawaiian islands in the future, there's still a ton of stuff that we didn't get to do on Oahu. First of all, I twisted my ankle the day before we left. We had a lot of intense hiking planned, and that kind of got thrown by the wayside. We ended up just laying around on the beach for the first 3 days until my ankle kind of healed up. I also wanted to surf, but because the ankle injury, I thought I was too weak and thought I shouldn't go out there and try the surfboard or the bodyboard or any of that stuff. And then to top it off, the USS Arizona Memorial was closed for maintenance, and it has been closed actually for a while. We didn't really do the full Pearl Harbor experience, so we want to go back and enjoy that sometime. We did see tons of beaches, and we did a few smaller hikes and snorkeled at several locations, so we still had an amazing time. We stayed at Makaha Valley Towers on the west side of Oahu. The weather over there was perfect every day, and the apartment we stayed in was pretty good. We initially found the apartments listed through Airbnb, but then we ended up finding them also on Hotels.com. And we booked through Hotels.com because we're always trying to get those hotel stays to get our free nights. And we've got a lot of free nights through Hotels.com, so I can't complain there. This is not a plug, though, for Hotels.com. We also love Airbnb. The apartments were only 1.4 miles to Makaha Beach, which was this huge, gorgeous beach, and it was a great spot to enjoy the sunset. It was also only 2 miles from Aki's Beach, which was this smaller beach in this residential area, but it had amazing snorkeling, and we ended up seeing a sea turtle there, and that was the only sea turtle we got to see our whole trip. There were a lot of decent food options in Wainea, I think that's how you pronounce it, which was about 12 to 15 minutes away. Chain food, fast places like Jack in the Box, McDonald's, Little Caesars, Starbucks, all the standards. There was a few grocery stores and even convenience stores. And our favorite was Long's Drug, and it was also like a CVS pharmacy. I think it was both. We bought sodas there, snacks, booze. Booze was at really, really good prices. I think I bought 2 bottles of booze for like $20 there. And the local sodas that we bought there, the Pogs, I think she called them, she loved those. I think we ended up going back to that store like 3 times to buy more. So you can definitely save a lot of money by eating at smaller, maybe hole-in-the-wall establishments, what you'd call them. We weren't disappointed, though, with the food at any stops that we made. There was a lot of local food options, too, like Sun Sushi, Aloha Poke Bowl, L&L Barbecue. These were all really close, and they were all very, very good. If you don't want to do a lot of the fast food and restaurants, the apartments that we stayed at had this huge grill layout. I think it was like 5 or 6 grills, really nice, fancy grills that you could cook your own food, and our apartment had a full kitchen too. The apartment area had a really nice pool, and there was all this wildlife running around. We saw peacocks, chickens, cats, and even a pig roaming through the parking lot, which was kind of funny because I thought, is this pig running from a luau? The Makaha Valley area did have a lot of homeless and tent cities, so it was nice to see 24-hour security at the Makaha Valley apartments. The gate guard was also very friendly and very informative. We've never ran into an unfriendly gate guard. They were always super helpful. And the only negative I had to say about staying here was its location to other popular places. Highway 93 was the only way in and out of Makaha area, and if there was traffic, accidents, or road construction, it drastically changed your driving times. If you want to see the north side, like Sunset Beach or Sharks Cove, or if you want to drive all the way to the south side to see Coco Crater or Makapu'u Lighthouse, these locations were at least an hour and 20 minutes away, and even more during Honolulu peak traffic times. My 2 favorite beaches were Akai's Beach, and that was near Makaha, and the Cockroach Cove, also known as Halona Beach. Both were these really, really small beaches. They felt private, even though every beach on Oahu is a public beach. People were super nice at both beaches, and there was this feeling of camaraderie, kind of like we'd found the most secret spot on the island. Akai's Beach was awesome for snorkeling. That's the one where we saw the sea turtle, and Halona was great for jumping off the rocks into the oncoming waves. However, at Halona, it's also known as Cockroach Cove. Don't walk too far into that cave, or you will quickly find out why it got its name. But lately, since the trip, my most asked and DM'd question about the vacation has to be, where can you fly your drone legally on Oahu? So I'll tell you how I decided where to fly and what rules I followed while I was there. First of all, I looked at the DJI no-fly map, and this is actually at www.dji.com/flysafe/geo-map, and I'll put the link below. This is a really great site, and I always go to this site when we're going to travel someplace new, just to scope it out before we go. But it's a great site from DJI that tells you exactly the no-fly zones that your DJI drone will adhere to when you're out flying your drone. As you can see on the map of Oahu here, there's like 4 to 5 major airport areas that are no-go zones. Then there's also a few military areas and prisons that are restricted. So next, after looking at that map, you'll just follow the regular FAA rules for the United States. Don't fly above 400 feet, line of sight only, 5 miles from major airports, but we covered that with the no-fly zones from DJI earlier. Never over crowds, which can be tricky when you're flying on beaches around Oahu. Also, Hawaii state parks have a strict no drone policy, but community parks and forest reserve and national forest have no rules governing drones. So when you look at this map of Oahu, there are actually a lot of places to fly. A lot of people don't think there are because they think Oahu is densely packed, which it is, the most densely populated of all the Hawaiian Islands. But there are actually lots of places you can fly your drone. Another thing to keep an eye out for is no drone signs. For instance, I was excited to fly my drone at Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail, which had a very minimal amount of people at it. But when we got to the parking lot, there was a sign there, and then there were several signs on the trail making it clear that drone use was not allowed, so I couldn't fly there. But in that case, I was able to fly from Makapu'u Beach, and I was able to fly up to the lighthouse and film and get some pictures of that. So that was really cool. Back to the beaches. Monday through Friday morning, the beaches are pretty empty with the exception of Waikiki Beach. I think Waikiki is just always full. Most beaches are dotted with a few handful of people here and there, so it's pretty easy to avoid people simply by moving to an isolated spot of the beach, flying your drone up, and immediately going out over water. This way you can avoid flying over people, over crowds of people, by keeping it over the water. This way is a great way to film, great way to fly on Hawaii. If you're going to be at a beach every day, you will always be able to get good footage this way. And if you think about it, what you want to see is behind you anyway, so it's better to keep your drone out over the ocean, over the water, filming back at you, back at the mountains, back at the beach in front of you. I thought it was the best way to get shots, It's the safest way because if your drone falls out of the sky, it's just going to fall in the water and you're going to lose it rather than falling in a residential area or over a crowd or over a beach or any of that stuff. So just follow the rules, follow the DJI no-fly zones, follow the FAA rules, don't fly in Hawaii state parks, and you're golden. I would definitely recommend taking your drone to Oahu. Regardless of what anyone says on the internet, there are plenty of spots to fly legally. I'm excited to go back. We want to go to the Big Island, and we also want to go to Maui. That would be great. I would love to go there. And as always, if you like these drone and travel videos, like and subscribe below. I've got a lot of stuff I want to be doing now that it's getting colder out. I got some master air screw props that I want to test on all my drones. Well, actually the Spark and the Mavic Air, because those are the two loudest drones that I have, and I bought quieter props for those. So coming up shortly, I want to do a test video testing all of my drones, the amount of noise they have, and then against the master air screw props. Also, in the future, I'm going to be doing more stuff with my GoPro 7. If you watched last year, you saw my clothes hanger videos where you pretty much turn it into a, what are those things called that spin around and around in circles that astronauts are in? Centrifuge or whatever. I pretty much turned the GoPro into a centrifuge, and I'm going to be testing that out with the GoPro 7 soon here also. And I recently bought the Mavic 2 Pro. So here's that. I am super excited to get this out and test it more. I've only probably had 6 flights with it so far. So I apologize with the infrequency of the videos since we came back from Oahu. It was simply because we were exhausted and we had to work a lot. But I'm going to start hitting it harder, and I have a few videos queued up on my YouTube to release over the next few days. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you later.